What is going on? Morning, everybody. Morning. Evening, afternoon, whatever time of day this finds you. Good to see everybody. Saturday stream. Talking RPGs, yo. How's everybody going? How's everybody doing? Ryan, I saw you open the place. Good deal. Thanks for doing that. Zeal, good to see ya. Full house. Packed. Getting packed. Who's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed? Good morning, buddy. Shambot, morning. Michael, morning. I know there's some people at cons today, I think. Victor, it's a American holiday today. Well, not today. This weekend. It's a holiday for those of you not in America. It's our Labor Day weekend. It is the sign of the end of summer, even though I think there's still 3 weeks, technically. Grumpy Corn, good to see you. Morning. Mike, thank you for letting us know that you are not here under duress. Mr. White, good to see you. Are you at the con this weekend? Up there in Colorado? Workus Dorcas, good to see you on time and even early. Way to go, buddy. Arrogant, morning. As soon as he Tacticon. That's where Dwayne is probably too. All right, good deal. 5x5. Until like 5 minutes in and everybody says, it's buffered. Anybody else got an issue? Jake, morning. Hey, did you read the module? Cheater. Yeah, right. Tad, whoops. Jim, morning. Tad, morning. ReaperCon, as well as Tacticon. It's almost the end of con season. I think Gamehole may be one of the bigger ones. That's the last of the year, right? Gabe, morning. Artie, morning. Wayne, morning. Laramie, morning. Nubis, good afternoon. Trumpet's back. Trumpet's back in action. Thanks for the gifted membership to Rowan. Congratulations for receiving that. Roman, sorry. Did I say Rowan? I meant Roman. Congratulations on that. Zweifer, morning. Laramie, Labor Day, wearing my Union tee right now. Evening. Trumpets in the evening. In the evening. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. When the day is done. Na-na-na-na-na-na. Little Led Zeppelin for you. You're welcome. Wake up, you sleepyhead. Wait, I thought con season was the winter season. Maybe. Yeah, time to get the lead out. That's right. That's a great song, how it starts. I haven't heard that song in a long time, actually. I used to have a guy, a roommate in the military. Got me burned out on Led Zeppelin because he would play it all the time. I'm like, dude, come on, man. I don't need to hear it every morning. But nonetheless, anything in any, too much can be bad. Excess. Con season is year round, my dude. Well, okay, fine. Took out a second mortgage for a perfect tri-tip for the holiday weekend, but it's maintaining now for 2 days. For a trip. Joe, morning. Better tracks on a not so great album. Yes, I agree. Any music in the morning is better than the trumpet, but not the trumpet in the chat. Or maybe no. Music. Commute to work was Public Enemy, Fear of a Black Planet. Hells yeah, dude. Hells yeah, that's banana. Hells yeah, banana bread at work, dude. That's worthy. Jeff Walken, morning. Okay, I'm going to start off something. We'll start off slow and then gradually transfer into the main topic. I want to know your first 3 RPG box sets. first three. Somebody put this out on Blue Sky. I thought it was pretty good. You know, I usually don't get into the like, for every like dude, I'll name you one of my favorite songs. Not me. Usually I steer clear of those things, but this one was pretty good. Top three, your first three RPG box sets. First three. Notice I didn't say core rules. RPG box sets. What were they? Go. And go. Trumpet wins with the first. Call of Cthulhu Merp Paranoia. Oh man, Merp is Merp going to be like dominating factor? Zeal's Merp. Roll Master. Define further. Box is required. It would have come in a box set. Gabe, Merp, Torg. No others. Oh, interesting. In the era of box sets, no others. Limited to 2. So you only own two box sets of RPG material, Gabe, in your entire RPG tenure. Jim, first 3 box sets: Metzner Red Box, Dragonlance campaign setting for 2E, and Planescape, I think. Arrogant, Judge Dredd, James Bond, Gamma World. James Bond, the one you never opened. Oh yeah, there. See, Gabe comes to you, right? Rollmaster 2. Box set, like rule set? No, I said RPG box set. That's all I said. That's all I said. Let's not get crazy. It's not that difficult of a question, Laramie. Lorcas Dorcas, D&D Basic Blue Box, Forgotten Realms, AD&D 1E, ElfQuest. I know, Dorcas, you were in on that thread on Blue Sky. Jeff, original D&D, Villains and Vigilantes. Wow, Torg. Maybe MSH. I don't remember what MSH is. Now I'm going to make Arrogant type it in anyway. Red Box, Zweifer says. Whoa, it's going bonkers here. Red Box, Forbidden Lands, end of list. Really? Wow. Now, I do, this may be interesting because as we went on in RPG history, box sets like fell off the face of the earth and became much, much more of a rarity for sure. I mean, it's probably the demise of TSR, let's face it. Might have been one of the early 90s basic D&D sets in between. Yeah. Wayne, Traveler, Little Black Books, Fastest Star Trek Aftermath. So far, nobody has hit all 3 of mine yet. Ryan West says, weird. Mine has combo of Jim and Harrigan, D&D Red Box, Gamma World, Planescape. Goose, White Box, Traveler, Hearn World. Hearn World. Farty, The One Ring, Alien, and Forbidden Lands. Wow. Those are some late box sets. Hey, that's hilarious. All Free League, nonetheless. Is Free League putting out the most box sets? Probably. I'd have to think. Mike says, I own 1 box set, and that is Numenera, and I regret getting that one, probably. Really? Interesting. Tad, Holmes Blue Box, D&D, Gamma World, Top Secret. I think all of mine have been hit so far. Now, as of Tad's, Victor Wyatt, Dungeons & Dragons, Moldvay, Basic and Expert, and Star Frontiers. Is that only 2? Right? Moldvay's Basic and Expert, right? That's 1. You got more than that, Victor, because you own Twilight. Right? Laramie, okay then, AD&D Wizard Spell Cards, DC Heroes, Long Gap, then S&W. Swords and Wizardry had a box set? I think they did, didn't they? Wayne was, I was wrong. You know what, Wayne? That's okay. Just admitting it is good. Like, it's all right. I think that's what's wrong in the world today. Nobody wants to admit they're wrong. And Wayne, lead the charge. Gamma World was before Star Trek. Nubis, Lost Mine of Fandelver. COC starter set at OSEBX. Gamma World may be my fourth. Torg possibly fourth. I got you, Mike, on the typo. Trumpet says, I thought Call of Cthulhu would dominate. Box set? Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. I got schooled on MSH recently. Marvel Superheroes. There you go. Thanks, Gabe. Doing the translation for Mr. Harrigan, who's probably just listening as he packs his bag and gets showered to go to Tacticon. Jim says, I don't recall getting another box set until the first OSE Kickstarter. Yeah. Most recent, Mothership. Well, now we're getting into most recent because the first three weren't exciting enough for Ryan. Victor says, I had Villains and Vigilantes, but I think I picked that up after Star Frontiers. Ghostwick Battletech 3rd edition. Is that box set? Is that RPG? Battletech Solaris 7, 2E Forgotten Realms. I will allow it, Joe, just because you're my friend. Zwiefer, in my defense, we used a buddy of one's stuff for years who had the money to get them. The more I think about this, the more I'd have to revise. Here again, Marvel, Jambar, Marvel Superheroes, Hero Quest, count? Sure. Dragonbane. Is Hero Quest RPG? I don't even know. I know people talk about it all the time, but I'm probably most ignorant when it comes to Hero Quest. Dragonbane for sure. Mine are, Ryan says, I'm not sure which I bought first, Marvel Superheroes or Planescape. Michael Holland, good to see you. Tom Moldvay, Basic D&D, Expert D&D, Forgotten Realms Campaign. Oh, I suppose they were separate boxes, right? Basic and Expert. Stand correct. What am I thinking? Wasn't much of a box set dude till later in life. Yeah. Orcus. Oh, yeah, Marvel may be in there. Come on, dust the cobwebs off, you old farts. And when I say old farts, it's Orcus. Everybody else is like 20 years old in the chat. Sean, if you want, I could bring you the S&W box set and you can raffle it off. Maybe. I mean, I guess I could. Victor's going to correct me. Here you go. Basic Expert 2 boxes, Sean. And to clarify, I also had Star Frontiers, Alpha Dawn, and Nighthawks. That's my first for boxes. There you go. Michael says, oh, see, he forgot too. Well, look at this, I'll forget. Forgot about the Marvel box set. I had that before Forgotten Realms. Okay. Oh, forgot about Fast Star Trek. So is your first three, which one is the first three then, Harrigan? Oh, crap. See, look at this. Oh, crap. I forgot about WEG, Indiana Jones game. Still got that, Ryan? Nah, Hero Quest is totally a board game. Come on now. Yep. Traveler might be one of them as well. Says Trumpet. TSR Lankmar fairly early. Look, I don't want everybody to name every box set. The first three you've ever owned. Come on, guys. Come on. Hish, what are you doing, buddy? How are you? Good evening. Good to see you, man. We're talking about box sets. My first was MERP. First three, Hish. First three box sets. Shambot, it's like an RPG training kit. Hero Quest, that is. Well, I guess in Hero Quest Defense, they counted for E as an RPG. Where you had books, though? So mine were Top Secret, Star Trek FASA, for FASA Star Trek, and Basic. Moldvay Basic. I don't even think I got Expert till later. I know it was Top Secret for sure and Star Trek FASA. Those were at least in the top three. And then I think it was Basic after that. Like I got Basic later, quite a bit later. It was like AD&D Player's Handbook. I might have gotten like DMG, Monster Manual. I don't even know. But somewhere in there, I've gotten the Top Secret fell into place and FASA Star Trek. First box, not because they had two for Star Trek FASA. The first one and then the deluxe edition. I had both. And then I would eventually get more. Stick it to 3, damn it. Got to lead by example. Never had a setting box set until I somewhat recently landed in a Dark Sun. Bringing Dark Sun back, you guys. I heard, right? It's the hints. Remember the old box adventures they sold for D&D? That might also be one of my first. Goblin's Lair. Gifted the box set of Indiana Jones to one of my best friends. That best friend probably got rid of it at a garage sale. Ryan West, you should hunt him down and make sure that he did not. He or she did not. Oh, what's that, Sean? You want me to name all my box sets? Well, okay. No, Laramie. Sadly, can't stay long. I got a Star Trek Adventures game on Foundry in 15 minutes. Hish, that is the best excuse I've heard for anybody leaving this stream early. Okay, just saying. Maybe to go to a con, but whatever. Eileen, good to see you. First 3 RPG box sets. Jim, I had First Quest, an introductory box set from TSR that had an audio CD that you were supposed to play tracks of narration from during play. Oh my God, really? I never actually used it. You should draw that up, man. Put it on stream. Stefan, good morning. Yeah, we're all sexy. Stefan, first 3 box sets, and then we're going to pivot to the main topic. First 3 RPG box sets you've owned. Does Melee and Wizard count? I don't know. Nope, he didn't garbage sale it. This just happened earlier this year. Whoa, aren't you gracious? Arrogant. So first 3, Sean. FASA Star Trek, James Bond. Don't know between Gamma World or Marvel Superheroes. Do you have the receipts? Can you just pull the receipts out of the boxes? Can you just go check? Go check. The world needs to know. No one a consequence. Holmes basic set, Mulvey basic set, Mulvey Cook expert set. Oh, Harrigan, Judge Dredd. Now see he's piling on. He's piling on. I'm gonna have to start kicking people, not following rules. Stefan, Red Box D&D, Forgotten Realms of Dark Sun. I did have the 2nd edition Forgotten Realms box set. The one that I almost thought was in the top 3 for me was the Greyhawk campaign setting. The big ass map. Frankly, it's up there, very close. I don't know. I don't think it would have beat out Top Secret or Star Trek for me, but I had it. Might have been before Basic, honestly. Mulvey Basic. Next week, first choose your own adventure type game books. Yeah, baby. So much D&D, right? Well, let's see. I mean, look at the field back then, right? There's like, how many RPGs back then? Were there even 20? Those game designer books, the farther back you go, the smaller the book is. Ish says, Merp box, long time, nothing. Then 2 Edge of the Empire box, and then the 1 Ring. Wow, that is a jump. Notice, Hoos, that there is no D&D for me. Gabe, you're so hipster, buddy. Hipster Gabe. Gabe's hipster RPG guy. He's got his PBR and no D&D under his arm with his flannel shirt and beard. It's terrible. It's terrible. Never bought a D&D box set, but Brandon has a few. He's recently acquired. Doesn't Numenera have a box set? Doesn't Monty have a box set? Ryan says it's actually really interesting to see these questions answered by folks not in the U.S. Yeah, for sure. He spent time in England. So I think that's where he went to school, right, Hish? I think my problem is, and Hish is in Where are you, Hish? Are you in Mongolia? Are you where? Malaysia? Malaysia, right? It's an M word. I think my problem is remembering is that I bought many of these within weeks or months of one another when I tried D&D, tired of AD&D. Yeah. Reading aid. We're going to get to the main topic. Right now, I'm just asking people for their first 3 RPG-related box sets. Ryan says, I have the Numenera box set. There you go. Numenera does have one. I can attest to that. Well, Eileen knows she worked for Monty Cook Games. Oh, you did? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you. I must have skipped right over it. I apologize. It doesn't have, well, it doesn't have to be D&D. That's for sure. So much D&D because TSR flooded mall bookstores with box sets in the 90s before going broke. Yeah, for sure. I was in Scotland. I'm in Malaysia and in Malaysia. In Malaysia. There you go. Scotland. Speaking of Scotland, they're having their big con today, this weekend. Scotland. They say it's the biggest con. I thought UK Expo was, but apparently Scotland has got the biggest con in the UK. I don't know. You knew as the comic books, they knew who to market to. Now they knew the deal. All right, let's get in. Thank you. Thank you for everybody that contributed. I'm sure there'll be a few that'll trickle in. Let's get in the main topic, right? Barty McButterpants, credit to you, buddy. People are like, man, let's get some topics, dude, because Sean sucks when he wings it. I don't know. So, topic is, he's like, so this kind of spurred, is a combination, right? Probably Farty kind of mulling around his own table and prepping in his desk and pondering these things. And Harrigan from Harrigan's Hearth had a blog entry that I thought got a pretty decent amount of discussion on the Discord. And Harrigan wrote about Last Things Last. And if you're not familiar with Last Things Last, it's the introductory module for Delta Green. Comes in kind of the quick start, if you will. Is a module for pre-gens, basic rules. And what Last Things Last is very much, it's Last Things Last is to Delta Green as Keep on the Borderlands is to the D&D grognards. So a lot of people run it, but some will say that there isn't enough like meat, if you will. And it's, and it can also be like, well, it's Delta Green. So what do you have to like have in this thing to make sure it goes smoothly and in the right direction? But anyways, topic is if you have a published scenario, okay, how much do you tweak it? Whoops, as I knock my glasses on my microphone. How much do you tweak it versus running it like as written? And then if you do tweak it or mod it, in this case, when do you mod it? Do you do it right on the fly? Excuse me, do you read it and then go, oh my God, this thing's terrible? Do you? So first thing first, I want to know, let's start out with, give me a published scenario. Because there's going to be some that are like, oh, what? Published scenario? I don't run any published scenario. I'm a homebrew or go home, Sean. Homebrew or go home. Here's one for you, Orcus. Go homebrew or go home. Am I right, Crawford?
Right.
So, first thing, published scenario that you've had and toyed with and either modded or you haven't. And the reason. Like, nope, I got this published adventure. I've run it multiple times, and I've always run it as it is written, which I would be completely blown away if somebody would chime in on that. See, well, at least, I mean, fair. I can't answer the question because I generally don't use published scenarios at all. Hipster for life. You did not? Okay, yeah, I suppose. Well, you did run Star Trek. You didn't run a published adventure for us? You made it all up? I'm gonna get Gabe. I'm gonna get him to peel back that. Hish says I played Last Things Last. You played it, but you didn't run it, have you, Hish? First things first and last things last. Order some food and watch TV in the apartment. Well, yeah. Laramie says, ooh, I misunderstood the assignment. I thought you meant rule sets. Those are raw and wild. No, see. Those are raw and for a while to get a feeling. Then mod them. Adventures, dude. Never raw. Okay, for that's Laramie. Arrogant says, depends on how well it is written. Often it's early and often. Sometimes it's easy to spot things that won't work for your table. Other times, especially for shorter stuff, run totally as is. All right. Oos, for published, I come to read it, tear it apart, and make it a $6 million scenario. So you're the guy that buys that shitty car. And then you're like, pull the engine, put in a new one, get out some mud, do some sanding, right? Clean it off, spray or power wash it, get some mud, sand it, bondo it up, dip it in paint. Look at that. There we go. Flip it. Team modify here. Nothing is sacred. Well, here's also another thing, right? I forgot if we covered this on a stream or what the case was, but I know somebody on Discord, somewhere I read, maybe it was Blue Sky, Twitter, I don't know, X, whatever it's called. I thought somebody in a game group, maybe at a con, I think it was a game group, they were going to play a game. The GM was going to run the module, a scenario, and the person got super pissed. And I don't know if this was the person posting or a person that was at the table that witnessed this, or if it was the GM. But one of them got perturbed. I think it was one of the players got perturbed because the GM didn't run the module as written. Like, what are you doing? You can't be doing that. You can't be modifying it. I'd usually try to run published stuff as written or near to it, says Jim. There you go. Interesting. People who've played in my con games can attest nothing sacred. It's all jazz. And you should be like, jazz hands. Laramie. That was my own STA? Oh, interesting. I don't know if I ever do that. Zwifar. Given my group's propensity of destroying all that is good and prepped, I haven't had one I haven't had to do that to yet. Chris, the sneeze. Man, your pomp looks great on my living room TV. Supposed to get a haircut today, just a side note, but I had to cancel it because I had to register for Game Home Con. I don't know why. Every year I schedule a haircut the day I have to register for Game Home Con. Nope. Cancel. Put a shit out a few days. I'm relying on getting on like 2 games. If I don't have the internet, I'm screwed. Eileen says I read it, make some notes with what I'd like to change, and make those changes on the fly if I feel it would work well in the moment. Done with both best leave them ghosts alone and all's well. Oh, God's Appalachia. Here's a good one. I ran the funnel hole in the sky. Let me rephrase that. I ran the funnel hole in the sky, and the players basically bypassed the entire dungeon. That was some improv and then some. But I ran sailors on the Starless Sea almost as written. Interesting. Got a problem with modding them. I've just had less time in recent years. Right, so the argument is, right, Chip pulls up a good argument. Like, I can mod it, but I don't have time for that stuff. But you could do it on the fly. Dude, who's enough, okay? Dude, pouring it on to Gabe. Come on, man. Him and Gabe, they're going to have a moment at a Game Old Con. I could just see who's... Gabe, good to see you. Hugging him longer than comfortable. Love you, man. Stefan, I recently ran the Rahasha module from D&D Basic and definitely had to mod it for 5e. Well, that's true. Like if you buy a scenario that's for a system and you're running it in a different system, then someone would say, well, I mod it. Generally, I find OSR modules can be run untouched, and the common scenario is to add things and the common scenario is to add things or address plot holes and loose ends, says Harrigan. Okay. And when I have time, I usually come up with something myself, says Jim. Orcus. Most modded was Mass of Nyarlathotep. I always butcher that word, by the way. And was essentially forced because they went to Shanghai first. Woof. Pretty much have been playing Tetris with it since then. Wow. I would not have pegged somebody going to Shanghai first in that scenario. But yeah, man, roll with it, dude. Wayne says, I can't. I have not modded in. I can't think of one. I have not modded in some way. Maybe some DCC funnels. Grumpy Corn. Wild Behind the Witchlight. Very cool idea. The carnival that makes up the entire first act is just absolutely boring if you play it as written. All right. See ya, Hish. Good luck. Engage. Warp factor 5. Chad says, I ran Curse of Strahd pretty much as written with just a few mods during play. Oh, that's mods then. It's like, Dad, read this. I ran Curse of Strahd pretty much as written with just a few mods during play. That is the short answer of I modded Curse of Strahd. Polygraph would not accept that answer. Mike says, I do not run adventures as written. I get the basic idea from an adventure and then make it my own thing. My own thing. David S. Pumpkins. I get the basic idea, my own thing, and one that fits my table. I tend to quickly go outside the bounds of published adventures. Dirty bugger players. Dorcas, but I have also made some changes or red pen some fluff. Usually though it's modded during the game as the players behave away of breaking things. Have a way. How do you have? Oh, I suppose that's pretty close to the B. How did you typo that? Rahash is a great module written by the Hickman duo, which helped TSR survive. Oh, interesting. Which, is a carnival with absolutely no minigame mechanics. Everything that happens is just resolved with regular skill checks. I can't wrap my mind around that design choice. Interesting. I do not have it. I am ignorant to that scenario. I know of it. Reading aid. First scenario I ran was DG was Black Sat. I didn't tweak it at all. But when I ran Last Things Last, I added a deer that agents ran over, so Marlene had a body to enter if they killed her. Spoilers! Reading aid. No spoilers. I'll have to go back and edit that. It's hilarious. The Dorcas, okay. Nubis. Fandelver was my first TTRPG experience, and I modded the hell out of it. Oh, was it really? Interesting. The only adventures I've run as is were for Mothership, but those are very loose, so you usually have to flesh them out. Already had experience like this with that 5e Ice Lady module. Farty. Source of the topic. What spurred this for you anyway, Farty? Was it Harrigan's article or something you're dealing with? He says, I'm in the middle of Curse of Strahd and my daughter and her friends. I started raw, but it takes too much effort for me to keep things straight. Last few sessions have been really modded. Just roll with it. They don't know, right? What's up, Jazz Handers? What's up, Kristen? Mass is an open sandbox. Bah. No kidding. It isn't. Nubis continues, so I almost never run adventure straight up, mostly because I have too much time on my hands. Too much time on my hands. Too much time on my hands. Where? Did I miss you again? Or was it just my comment on missing your box set comment? Hope I don't continue that. That would be bad news. Jeff says, I've tried to run modules as written, then the players do stuff and the game goes freestyle. Yeah. Silly players, right? How do we prevent it? Are some terribly written? I most often mod the hooks to fit the players and characters and setting. I have to say the biggest flaw I see in modules is leaving out an overview. I want the effing context. Oh, William, good to see you. Morning. Oh, I should probably put the topic back up so people can see it when they join. Let's be fair. It appears that writing adventures that don't suck is much harder than systems and settings. I think so, right? I could sit here and complain or, I don't know, they did this thing. But, man, you got to, no module, stands the test. The encounter with the players, first encounter with the players. When I used to run Adventures League stuff, I'd just run it as presented. That, I think, is a little unique because it's organized play. So I totally understand that. When it's for my home group, Chris continues, I'll shift stuff as needed. Noticed I had to say shift stuff as needed to fit my PC stories into the adventure. I am not VI. I had a VI. I don't know if I had a VIG badge. I think I had a VIG badge very early on and I gave it up. I don't want to, let everybody else have the VIG badges. I don't need to be VIG. I'm good. I'm OG. What's this guy doing? Hey, man. Are you watching this at like 3 p.m, Phil? He is. Right after that. Cheers. Look at this guy. Phil McClory, you today get Hardcore Viewer Award. Congratulations. This guy's on his vacation, goes to Scotland and Ireland, and who knows where the hell he is right now because it's not early morning over there. Probably sitting in a pub on his phone. Definitely have to mod some the 5e campaigns I've run. Ryan, I've run the Adventure Path Iron Fang Invasion, almost as written, just added some side adventures and NPCs. Lil, WotC campaigns can't be effectively played as written. That's a bold statement. Hey, I think we're at maximum capacity. Before you leave, I forgot to remind. And Ryan, I'm a little disappointed you didn't bring this up a little earlier, but you've done it in the past quite proactively. So I have a little grace for you. Not to mention you're always the guy who opens the door, but if you would be so kind, ladies and gentlemen, to give me a like or subscribe or even a thumbs down. That's fine too. No ads. Just do it for the ads. No ads? Hey, look at it this way. No ads on this live stream? Thumbs up. There you go. That's all you need. There's the justification. Topic sucks. No ads. I abide. Cypher Unlimited, good to see you. Cypher, the home of Cypher system. I got to go over there and check out what's new in the new Cypher game from Montecarlo. 1 year at Gamehole, I was asked to run a Numenera adventure for MCG last minute. Monty Cook Games, by the way. I hadn't had a time to read it, so I read the title and the big bad stats. I made the whole shit up on the fly. That's boss level there. Everyone just seemed to have a good time. They continue. Nubis, many smaller ones like the BBEG turning into a Drider after being killed because he's boring, raw, in my opinion. I usually change the lore for every RPG, let alone module. Cypher says, I think I always make some sort of changes to pre-written adventures. tend to lean more towards raw, probably because of the reason Jim said earlier in the stream, where it's like, man, I don't have time to like read it and then mod it all. And sometimes I'll admit, like, I read it and then I know the gist, but I don't remember the details. And especially for Delta Green, it's a little, you kind of got to know those details because you have to give them to the players. Otherwise the adventure kind of comes to a screeching halt. Same with Call of Cthulhu sometimes, right? Anything that's like clue based, investigative based. I don't know about Blade Runner, right? Gabe's playing some Blade Runner he likes. But if you don't like give them the thing, then things come to a screeching halt. So there are times where I'll read the scenario. I'll go, okay. Then it'll be a month later, I'll run it. I'll go, oh, okay. I'll just bring up the module and just go through it. Not even go through it, but just, okay, I know what's the gist. I usually know 3/4 of the module because I've read 3/4 of it. I don't read it all the way through to the end. Maybe even half if it's like Curse of Strahd. Like, I'm not reading this whole thing. Well, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna read the whole thing. I get through halfway, I put it to the side, I run it. Even Delta Green scenarios that are like I don't even know how thick Convergence is. It's not a very thick module content-wise. And I don't even get to the end. But I know up until this point, it's this, thinking, well, I should probably read this much because the players are going to get that far. And they never do. Right? Same with Impossible Landscapes. When I ran that for Delta Green, it's like this big, thick campaign setting. And I'm like, okay, I'll read all this. And it took them like, I don't know, 4 or 5 sessions to even get through like this much of that campaign, right? They never get as far as you think. But you're never sure if they do. And I usually have it up, so I don't have it modified, but everything can always go sideways in a moment's notice. And I think what separates really great game masters from those that are kind of standard are just letting that roll or getting them back on track in a way that doesn't seem like a railroad. And let's be frank, there's a difference between being a railroad and a linear adventure, right? It'd be very linear. Most scenarios and even homebrew things can be linear. If it's too much of a sandbox, you get them going in all kinds of directions that don't make any sense. Then you're playing like a video game like, oh, there's the town. I'm going to walk around. I'm going to walk around some more. Oh, there's somebody just standing there. I'll go and talk to them. And then they give you an adventure seed, which plots a point on a linear thing. It's not linear until you start going forward those, but whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Laramie says, regarding running on the fly, I ran a game for Salty and Sons. He says they had a blast. I can only trust his word. I'm on my phone. Have you seen my thumbs? 2 gorilla big toes. Ew, gross. Chris says, the whole line of thought makes me want to ask the question, what's the user experience of the adventure supposed to be? That is wholly dependent on the product and game itself. But it makes the conversation about what kinds of adventures are out there and what is their use purpose. Aaron, good to see you. I think you should define what counts as a mod. Does it count as a mod if I'm flexing it to conform with players' actions, or is it a mod to deliberately change to the plot or an encounter made during prep? Well, that's a good point, right? I would say, I don't think like changing like the stats. Like, okay, say for example, this scenario was built for insert D&D clone. I'm going to run it in this. It's made for BX. I'm running it in Shadowdark. I wouldn't consider that a mod. I would say, do you change the location? Do you change the plot structure? Many people will say, I read the scenario and there's a patron that tells them what to do and where to go. And then that's kind of what I take and keep. The rest is free form, or maybe it's like, here's the start point. Here's the end point. Anything in between doesn't matter. Like I just got to make sure that I add enough for the group to get from here to here, from here to here, whatever. AB. You know. That's a good point. Chris, I missed that one. It makes the conversation about what kinds of adventures are out there and what is their for their. No, yeah, you did. I did say that. Well, that's interesting. It didn't highlight it. Okay. All right. I usually try to mix things up if I know someone might have read it. More common is just pulling that module apart like a buzzard and then stringing it together into what the players do with it. Artie says, for his inspiration of this topic, it was Harrigan's article. Lots of great discussion on Discord. People seem to have different opinions. So if you go to Harrigan's Hearth and read the article, last things last, there's a base fundamental thing. The mission is this. You're Delta Green agents. There was an agent. His name is Bauman. And you're sent to his apartment to get any info about Delta Green. Like he was an agent of Delta Green. You're there to like basically retrieve any information he has. And it's like he's either dead or, usually he's dead, right? That's the scenario. But some people have changed it, right? Maybe he's not dead and he's like, whatever, right? Do you change that? Do you say, well, he's not dead? What location do you put it in? Some of those are pretty ambiguous in Delta Green scenarios anyway, right? They may not even tell you where physically his apartment is located as far as a city in the country, right? So you've established that. And then the argument was when you go to his apartment, I promise I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but what is there at the apartment? Okay, so there's the stuff that the module says is there, and then there's the stuff that Game Master handlers have said, well, this is how I position everything in the apartment or not in the apartment. And then how does it go from there to like the next, right? Point A, point B. So it's some of those things. And some people are like, well, if you dink around with it too much, that's not cool. Or yes, I dink around with it much, much more. And then why would you dink around with it? And some would say, well, I dink around with it because it seems very boring, right? Nothing happens. So I'm going to inject something. I'm going to put something in here. Now, somebody could say, well, I'm running a D&D scenario and nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen here in this dungeon, right? And it's like nothing in the rules or as they're sitting in the hallway. There is no encounter. There's no pit trap. There's no magical thing. But then somebody could say, well, random encounter table. I'm going to roll on the random encounter table. I wouldn't say that's modding. I think that's part of the thing. Like, hey, if you're rolling through a dungeon, here's the random encounter table. Roll it every once in a while when you're bored. Not so much. Yeah, it's been solid. Played mini putt on the old course today. That's fantastic, Phil. Harriet says, to be clearer, once it hits the table and is filtered through both GM and players, it is not as written, unless it's some horrific railroad. Well, that's fair. I mean, as soon as you convey it to the players and they decide to do their own thing, especially if that's the case, right? You do this and they don't take that option. Or they have a dialogue and the dialogue doesn't cover the players' interactions socially. Like, I ask them these questions. Read module. Like, none based on the demeanor of this patron, speak. Leafer says, I don't think it's the module's fault. I've run the sample module multiple times with multiple groups. The game is never the same. You can't blame the module for the choices of the table. No, I don't think. And that's not what we're wanting to do is say, oh, if you don't run it as written, then the module sucks. That's not necessarily true. Not stating that, but I understand. Mike, if you write a module too tight, then there is a lot there, but players can easily go away from it. Too loose, and you have to do more work to run it, but players are less likely to go outside of it. Totally. Mike, man, You got to be here every weekend. I'm just saying. You got some good stuff, man. Orcus, I ran Curse of Strahd pretty much as written. I just took out Strahd, used the Knights Black Agents rules, introduced clans from Vampire the Masquerade, and had it take place in Glorantha. Totally legit, not modded at all. Just a couple tweaks. Barely an inconvenience. All right, gotta bounce. See you, Phil. Hey, safe travels, buddy. Grumpy says, I agree with Phil. WotC writes campaigns to be read, not to be played. I think back-to-back comments by Zwiefer and Mike nailed it. Yeah. No one consequence. Last time I ran Temple of the Elemental Evil, I changed a lot of it. Last time I ran Keep on the Borderlands, I changed almost nothing. Is it based on the players, or like sometimes it's like, hey, I'm going to use Temple of Elemental Evil, but I want to use it as a set piece. And so in order to fit it into my campaign, my campagna, I have to make it so it's like hasn't been touched or it has been pilfered. It's all right. It's all right, Ryan. It's all good, man. Trumpet, thank you very much. I'm removing Arkham and Miskatonic from my DG setting. I will accept a ban as punishment. I'm on the verge. Why? Because they don't exist in real life? Hey, newsflash, Nubis. Neither does Ensmith. And that is like how Delta Green starts, dude. Adventures would go so much more smoothly if people would just stop fighting that no matter what, at some point you will be railroaded, and that's fine, and it's okay to just enjoy the ride sometimes. That's the scenery. Arkham and Miskatonic are too campy and stupid to be in Delta Green. I'm with you, Nubis. All right. All right, you two. Campy and stupid? Come on. Gotta make it your own. Nubis, that's your right, Nubis, though we may not understand you. Indeed. That's fair, truer words. The bigger the adventure's physical size, say zine versus box set, the less likely it is that I will like it, much less play or run it. Really? Oh, here you go, Wayne. Have you seen Outcast Silver Raiders? Setting? The setting book is the thickest book of all three. Wayne sticks stake firmly into ground, pulls it back out. Some adventures designs has moved towards thinking about it that way. Those are my preferred adventures. Also, most dungeons are just that. As he says, if you're looking at adventures as a series of musts, but better adventure design is a series of possibilities with beginning moments. Barty, focus on writing down names of every NPC and motivations. Those will always cause me to search notes. I get a general idea of the location. From there, I can respond based on what I can remember. The actual material can change quite a bit over time. Yeah. I challenge anybody to run a long-term Delta Green campaign. God's Teeth, maybe Possible Landscapes. Do it more than twice. If you do it more than twice, how does one differ over the other? I'm going to bet two groups going through the encounters, even if they go through like different routes. Masks is another one. Nyarlathotep. Right? Run it. If they're given 4 different paths and they follow those paths, even the same group that follows the exact same path, which is pretty freaking rare, I'm guessing, it's going to be different. It's just going to go whoop sideways. I've run Last Things Last a dozen times, and I want to give it read. Discord? Trumpet, I think I have a link in the notes. I think. I love newer trifold adventures that are designed to be rough sketches that need to be filled in by GMs and players. Shotgun scenarios for Delta Green are almost like that, but Mothership is just like phenomenal for those. Like the maps are square boxes connected by a line. It's like literally a diagram. Very like here's the overall thing. Here are some other thing. Like it's amazing if you boil it down in that regard how here I've had this happen like, oh, published adventure. I got to read it, know it, learn it. Harder to run because you're sticking to this like scenario that's written. So you're afraid to kind of go outside the box because once you do, you're not sure if you can get back to it or how to get back to it, right? If you're doing like, well, here's just an overall gist of the scenario, then you go off of what the players are doing and you're doing yes and no but. They won't know. And it's very like it's coming from your brain at the moment. So it's not having to be prepared, so you don't have to really think about it. Like it's so funny to me at times, the irony is completely lost on me because you're like, if I prep and I'm running a written scenario, I like running a written scenario because I don't have time to prep. But if you don't prep and you just do it ad hoc, impromptu is probably what I wanted to use. I always get those two mixed up. But impromptu, like Lou, Feeling Good Lewis, and like 6 other people that I think might be in the chat, some of them are, ran a shotgun scenario. I think the entire scenario that he ran, or his notes were on, I don't know, 5 3x5 cards. Because you're not boxed in. They want to go that way? Shit, man, go for it. Just give me a second to think about this. A paid player wants demand that I do absolutely no modding. There we go. No modding from the published campaign at all, down to the specific encounters listed inside it for changing descriptions of NPCs. Yes, that's like a thing. Like you could genuinely, how would they know though? Right? Grumpy? Would they know? Could they know? Nubis, Mothership, and Mouse Herder have awesome pamphlets. I've modded Last Things Last so many times, and it holds up most every time as the base foundation is solid. For sure. I love people. I love when people reference pitch meeting. He's fantastic. Barely an inconvenience. Yes, sir. Harrigan, where's the article you wrote? I want to read it. Do Harrigan's Hearth Substack. It should come up, Chris. He can't post the link in the chat, so well he might be able to. He's a mod, but Harrigan's Hearth Substack. It's also on the Discord. He's got his own corner. You guys want to check it out. I'm also moving a victim of the art from fictional Glenridge to actual Southampton. So yeah, I love grounding DG in the actual world. That's one reason. Baggage is the other. Okay, that's fair. It's a throwback to an early comment I made. I was referencing Rime of the Frost Maiden. There you go, Farty. You were worried the players would rebel if you changed the final boss fight. That's what it was. Sean, actually, I said adventure, not setting. Fair. Okay, fine, I stand corrected.
Right.
I love Mothership zines that come in the deluxe set. Some of them are great little 3 to 5 session campaigns, for sure. Good to see you, Trek. Trekkie. That's right. Farty's players read the adventure when it's done and get mad at him. Possibly the most fun I had with Last Things Last was I had too many players, so I had to 2 of them play Bauman's children with certain motivations and had them arrive at the cabin after the agents. God, spoilers! Players have never let me run a scenario written, including those I published. Interesting. That's hilarious. Catching up as well. Fully agree with that. Lightweight stuff, one-page dungeons, Rob Schwab's adventures, trifolds. That's my jam. Take the framework and make it your own. Yeah, multi-100-page adventures, no. All right. I think we beat this one to a pulp, and we're right at the top of the hour. Let's get into some. Thank you for everybody participating, providing all your insight, the box sets, all the info. There's no wrong way to do it. Run it raw. Don't run it raw. Mod it. When do you mod it? You got to make a judgment call as a game master. Make it fun. The goal is to make it fun, challenging, for the players and the game master, right? So it all depends on the game, too. Depends. Hey, man, depends. Hey, depends. Let's get into news, right? RPG news. Where are you? Interesting. What is going on here? Come on. Hello. Hello. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. What's going on with you? First up, Harlem Unbound creator Chris Spivey joins Delta Green's Art Dream Publishing. It's going to be a GameWorld-Con. Mr. Spivey is. Might have to introduce myself. Hello, Mr. Spivey. I'm Sean. You don't know me right now, but you will. As of 2 seconds ago. Award-winning creator joins Art Dream Publishing as its new production director. Significant move that pairs a visionary of modern horror role-playing with the publisher of the highly acclaimed Delta Green. My guess is that those guys are so backlogged for Delta Green. They need some help. As a matter of fact, I think even Shane says that in this article. Hey, we need some help, and why not? He's a great creator in the RPG space, and I think he's also been a program director. So he's probably or program manager. 2 great skills that go great together for an RPG company, I would guess. So yeah, good. And they're working on the Black Company at Arc Dream. So I'm probably splitting time between 2 major initiatives. Chris, looking forward to what Chris does. His portfolio is extensive, including contributions to major titles like Dune, Adventures in the Imperium, Vampire the Masquerade, and Cyberpunk Red. Yeah, never mind his own stuff, right? Like Harlem Unbound. His appointment at Arc Dream signals a powerful reinforcement for the publisher, promising to bring his organizational and creative strength to a packed slate of future releases. Couldn't think of a better hire. Not that, whatever I say matters, but cool to see. Congratulations, Mr. Spivey in Arc Dream. Next one, Free League releases in revocable open license for Coriolis, The Great Dark. Which is great. I haven't read the nuances of it and how restricted it is. License. Mechanically, the license is quite specific. While it allows for the addition of new talents, professions, gear, and rules for situations not covered in the core game, it explicitly forbids the creation of new attributes. The text further states that Free League discourages the adoption of new rules for your supplement, signaling a clear preference for content that expands the existing game world rather than fundamentally altering its mechanics. This could present a challenge for creators hoping to innovate heavily on the core system. Oof. You guys can bring up your own scenarios. It can be set in this world, but don't mess with the mechanics is the message. Interesting. Not sure how I feel about that. But anyways, whatever. I suppose I'll paste these in El Chat. There's Free League. There's the press release or the release for Mr. Spivey. You guys boogie and I don't notice. Hit the like on the way out and have yourself a good day. I'm going to cranking through this stuff. Next one, Troll Lord Games releases starter set for OSR, Pioneer, Castles, and Crusades. Holy cow, this game's been out forever, and now they're just putting out a starter set. Troll Lord, I love you guys. Anyways, it's PDF too, which, I mean, what are you going to do? So there you go. If you're interested in Castles and Crusades, I don't know if you can put it on, get it from print, from print. There you go. Next one, Eisner Award-winning noir comic Black Sad. I know there's comic fans in the chat. So I'm not a comic guy, but here you go. Black Sad, created by writer Juan Diaz Canales and artist Juanjo Guarnido. Oh my goodness, my names. It's an Eisner Award-winning series known for its stunning watercolor art and gritty detective stories set in 1950s America. The world is populated by anthropomorphic animals with private investigator John Blacksad, a black cat, all its center. The comic has already been successfully adapted into the popular video game Blacksad Under the Skin. So there you go. Any Blacksad fans out there? Next, Paizo ends Pathfinder Adventure Path softcovers. This is newsworthy because it's been around forever. Like at the advent, before Pathfinder was even its own game, they were doing this. Rise of the Rune Lords was for 3.5, ladies and gentlemen. And it was their first Adventure Path subscriber, monthly, get it in the mail, like every month cranking out one for years. Like it's been, what, at least a decade by now, right? Now they're going to do a shift beginning next year to new hardcover Adventure Pass. Will be a minimum of 256 pages. I think currently they're like 96. And will have a retail price of $80, which is cheaper than the cost of purchasing the 4 softcover Adventure Pass. So they're just going to do it all at once instead of one month by month by month. Paizo also stated they'll release 1 Adventure Pass starting at level 1, another ending at level 20, with the remaining 2 falling somewhere in between. Oh, interesting. So it's kind of drawing it out a little bit more, right? So each Adventure Path will cover 9 to 10 levels of play. Wow-wee wow. Look at that. So there you go, people. Certainly newsworthy, I think. Should we get into bundles? Bundles! Got 2, but they're from the same game. Hostile. Anybody know Hostile? Hostile? Not to be confused with Youth Hostel. Europe. Safe place to stay. Hostile. This has been before. This is the second time it's come up as a bundle. First time was like in April of 2022, 3.5 years ago. So based on the Cepheus engine rules, closely modeled on classic Traveler. Hostile's a gritty retro future setting inspired movies like Outland, Blade Runner, and Alien. A universe of harsh planets and toxic atmospheres, claustrophobic space freighters, and brutal industrial colonies. Ancient horrors entombed on the icy moons, killer ETs, perfectly evolved to survive at any cost. So there you go. And then, of course, another one called Hostile Hot Zones. Other supplements. So if you can get a lot of Hostile bundle stuff. Looks cool. I have not gotten much into it. I haven't done a lot of space stuff. Hey, Jeff. Good to see you, man. Just going through the stuff. Did I just put in... But I don't copy paste the same link and put it in there twice. You can get it, either one from there. That's the only ones that I had for bundles this week. Crowdfunding. Should we do print? We need print news. Cha. Print news. Ian World. Check it out. Overhill and Underhill starter set. The Lord of the Rings starter set is now out by Free League. There you go. Grab it if you so dare. The D&D one is 2024. It's not 5e. So if you want the starter set that may be better than the original for the One Ring that people complain about the adventure in the back, here you go. Cairn! Second edition box set. A lot of OSR buzz about that one when it was delivered from the crowdfunding campaign. Contains everything an experienced GM and up to 3 players might need except dice. Castles. Oh, there's Castles of Crusade starter set. It's there. Is it on their site as a box set, Jeremy? Maybe it is. The link in the article from Geek Native took me to drive through. Probably is an affiliate link, but so maybe it is out in boxing. You could order it from them. Next one, Warhammer 40K Roleplay Imperium Maledictum starter set and Warhammer Age of Sigmar Soulbound. You're welcome. Starter set by Cubicle 7. Starter sets. It's starter set all day. And then Land of Eam Deluxe box set is out for $150. Next one, Mothership First Edition Deluxe set is out in print. Holy cow. Just get out in print now? Or is it like just reprinted? I don't even understand. Mothership. There you go. There you go. People correcting me in the chat, I'm sure, commenting. That's all I had for print. What are you going to do, man? Let's get into crowdfunding. Starting with this one, Tribes in the Dark. Will I have followed since the Google Plus days. I follow him and interact with him on Blue Sky, giving him some love. So he's doing Tribes in the Dark. This is a Tribe 8 game was done years and years ago, and he's putting it out and putting it together. Obviously, Forged in the Dark mechanics behind it. Going through DreamPod 9 as the publishing house. So if you want to know more about that, if you are a Tribe 8 role-playing game fan, then this may interest you. It was first published in 1998 by DreamPod 9. Obviously. So that's why they're going through them. Supernatural post-apocalyptic fantasy RPG using the Silhouette system. That was back in 98. Tribe 8 was a departure for the company best known for its science fiction mecha RPGs, Heavy Gear and Jovian Chronicles. So it's that same house. Featuring dream magic and spirits, an ambitious metaplot, and expansive lore detailing the world of Weimari. Over 20 books were published in the original line as well as second edition. I didn't even know that thing existed. Now DreamPod 9 has made a new edition of this cult classic a reality. So it's up on crowdfunding. What are they using? I don't know. It's there somewhere. Here, whatever. I think in the article, I don't know if you should be able to access this. This is an announcements. I think in the article it takes them to a Twitch video on demand on Twitch where one gentleman interviews Will about it. Next one. Concern grows for missing Grimwild designer. Physical game on hold. Missing as in like, not a missing person, just abandoned project. So it looks like, oh no, he's missing. Got an APB out for him? No. So the cinematic fantasy RPG successfully raised over $87,000 across 2 backer kit campaigns in 2024 for digital and hardcover editions of the book. Free PDF version of the game has been available to backers for months and recently won an Emmy Award. Physical books scheduled for delivery in July have not been shipped. The designer J.D. Maxwell has been uncontactable for nearly 2 months, leaving the project's physical fulfillment on indefinite hold. And of course, there is the, hey, let's give him some slack. He's going through some stuff. And then there's, I don't care. Give me my stuff. There's other people that have worked on the game as well that don't have access to stuff to make things happen. All in this article. So Grimwild is described as a streamlined cinematic fantasy RPG designed for low prep play. It uses a custom D6 dice pool system and includes narrative-focused mechanics for its 12 classic classes, reimagined monsters, and a modular open license rule set called Moxie. So I don't know if any of you are affected by that crowdfunding campaign, but there you go. And then lastly, let's go over to EN World. Thanks, EN World, for doing this. Geek Native for getting all this stuff together. Much appreciated. Give them credit where credit is due. RPG Crowd, and I also am a patron of Geek Native. I don't know if I disclosed that in the past. Maybe I should ethically. I support them. I don't know if EN World has a patron. They should. Or something. RPG crowdfunding news at EN World. Campaigns in the last few days of their effort. Kickstarter Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Ethereal Expanse Dreams of the Drowned God by Ghostfire Gaming. $174K. That's for D&D 24. Tribes 8. There it is. I didn't even know it was already in the last days. It's on Kickstarter. Forged in the Dark. Canadian $50 Canadian for the ebook version of the book, as well as print on demand coupons. It's funded at $12K. Of Coal and Corpses, a rot punk. We have a thing on punk on our Discord. What punk? Rot punk solo RPG from Overland Empire. That's funded. It's a core rulebook. Solo RPG through the campaign page states it is compatible with GM-led Morkborg. Secrets of Mist Bloodlines, an anime-inspired 5e1 D&D supplement. That's funded. Fallen Blades, Endless Stars. A new space opera RPG by Kobayashi. The Kickstarter rules based on Chris McDowell's Into the Odd. It's core rule zine. €9 for the PDF of the book. Just be careful when you get in on these because of the tariffs, right? You get it from a European. I mean, I'm going to imagine the dynamic of the landscape for RPGs produced outside of the U.S. is either they're going to have some type of home in the U.S. Like I think that's how Freely gets around some of this stuff and other bigger publishers. Rascal did a whole article about it. I didn't want to talk about it because tariffs, but I think it's going to be, you want something that's based out of Europe in hardcore format. Buy the PDF, get it printed. Sucks. Cromere, Folktales for a Sunless Age made for Shadowdark. Funded. There's a feeling that this is ideal for the feel for Merkborg, but uses Shadowdark to adjudicate the rules, especially the famous no infravision torch mechanic rules. 150-page of new classes, spells, monsters, and adventures, hooks to draw you into a world of darkness and terror. Can I just get darkness and no terror? Or can I just get terror and no darkness? They have to be one and of the same. Well, there you go. That's all I have for the crowdfunding. You're welcome, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. Thus concludes our stream today. Just want to thank all these fine individuals for being patrons and supporters of the show. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here on this fine Saturday morning, taking time out of your busy schedule or things you could be doing to participate here in the chat, giving me information fodder, telling me about your first 3 RPG box sets, Winumata scenario, and everything else, and all the things. Thank you so much. put fuel in my tank every weekend. Otherwise, I'd be dead inside. So today, Gamehole Con registration in like 3 more hours. Hope pray for me, Argentina, that I get into the games that I want. We'll see. Also, for those of you that are patrons, you will know that I have a new venture starting called Go Bag, which is going to be a podcast. And who knows, maybe we'll put some streams or video out there. We'll see. I don't know if it'll be on this channel. But Go Bag has been announced on patrons to patrons on my Patreon. I'm actually contemplating starting a different patron for that. I don't know. We'll see. First episode has been recorded. It's going to be a weekly show. I'm divulging everything here. Maybe. A little teaser. Some of you know. Some of you might not know because you're not patrons. Or you're patrons, but you're just following the Patreon. It's going to be espionage games, primarily action games. It's not just going to be Delta Green. Some of you are like, oh, Delta Green, sweet. And no, not just Delta Green. Going to do seasons. I'm not going to give you all because we talked about it in the first episode. Who's we? Who are you doing it with, Sean? Well, that's a secret yet. Gotta let patrons know first. Patrons first, always. But it'll be put out there. It'll be put out there. I don't want to say all this because then you guys are never going to even listen to the first show. But it'll be fun. It's good to get back on the podcast mics, editing the show. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. It's going to be huge. Looking forward to our Any next year. Looking forward to it. I already wrote my speech. It's not even out yet. Any. Probably a Hugo. Who knows? Maybe Pulitzer Prize for audio. Emmys, Oscars. I mean, why just reach this far, right? Don't, half-ass 2 things, whole ass 1 thing. So I'm excited. Some of you are going to be like, dude, it's not my jam, Sean. And I get that. It's okay. So I told no love loss, we'll see. I don't know how I'm going to do it on the Patreon. I mentioned it's going to be on there. I already have it set up. And I think I got grandfathered into some rates. That's why I don't want to create another one because then I may have to give more to Patreon if I create a new one. So that's the only drawback. I don't know. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be huge. And it'll all be out by Gamehole Con for sure. So yeah. Yeah, baby, yeah. So I will let you all go. Just figure I'd throw that out there for some of you that don't know that that's in the works. If you are an espionage RPG fan, this is the one to tune into. If you're not, there'll be some components that you might appreciate, but, might not be a diehard person in that space either. So we'll see. It'll be fine. Check out this thing over here if you would be so kind. If you like anything that I have done, it'll be here, something that might offer a little taste to you. Otherwise, have yourselves a great week. Rest your day, whenever it is. Play some games and be a positive force in the tabletop RPG hobby. I will see you next week, Saturday, 8 a.m. Central Time, right here. Ciao.